Hey, what's up guys? It's Jake aka Tag, and today we're back at it again with this new meta graveyard deck. We have the Ice Golem, the Dark Prince, and the Goblin Brawler, all for graveyard tanks, and then we end up having the Mega Minion and the Musketeer for air defense. This is my current favorite graveyard deck in the entire game right now, so let's go jump straight into some games and let's assert some dominance. I'm gonna sauce out a good luck and we're gonna see what's up. This guy's gonna end up having an Electro Wizard, so it's probably gonna be P.E.K.K.A. We'll see if he's got P.E.K.K.A. with a Poison this time. Poison's gonna be a little bit more difficult. Can we win against it, guys? We'll have to wait and see if he's got it. It's definitely going to be P.E.K.K.A. Poison here. So in this matchup, we really want to make sure that we catch his minions and his poison out of cycle in single elixir. That's our qualifications for going in for a graveyard early on. And that very rarely happens, so you're going to have to wait until double then. I just don't want to be poisoning minions in single elixir. It's going to be a really bad play. So I need them both out of cycle. Okay, looks like he might not have the deck that we were thinking about. He might just end up having Magic Archer and Electro Wizard. That's way easier for me to go for graveyards then. I'm going to get some decent poison value on top of the Magic Archer. Does not end up dying immediately, but it will end up dying to the Goblin Cage. Goblin Cage should get one hit off on it. It would actually hit my tower at a minuscule amount of HP because like the Flying Machine, it targets a little bit faster than the tower, so we would have been in a bad spot. I end up going for a graveyard since he went in for a zap. I think he's down a little bit. And he doesn't have that removal spell. He does not have the zap to clean up the skeletons, so whenever they don't have a small spell, it's a prime time to go in for a graveyard. Because he has to go in for like a unit. And if he went for a unit, then he'd be screwed. But he actually had poison, so he's fine then. But for the most situations, if they use their small spell and they don't end up having poison, they end up losing a lot more damage. Because there's no way to kill the skeletons when they all clump up. So that's a prime time play. We'll see what he's going to do here. I need to keep that Musketeer alive, and I definitely want to go for a poison here. Making sure that the Magic Archer is not hitting our tower is extremely important as well. Magic Archer will be able to get some damage, but it should die to the poison, so we're doing fine. This matchup's going to be a little bit more difficult because he's got poison. So, I'm a little bit worried here. I think we go opposite just to split him up. And then maybe we can end up going in for a Goblin Cage here. I think that might be our best bet. Oh, totally going to be our best bet if you're going to spam me like that, sir. We'll take that trade. 100%, my man. Dark Prince will be able to shut it all down. And I think we're just going to start going opposite lane whenever we can. Because I don't think it's reliable to go same lane anymore. Maybe we can bait out a poison with the Musketeer. I love being able to do this. There's no way that he does it, though. Very rarely will you ever get a poison from him there. Great poison for us, though. Just going for Mega Minion. Going for the Dark Prince, keeping the Musketeer alive. It's prime time. Then we could definitely end up going for a graveyard again. Because the Dark Prince will stay alive, I think. Oh, Dark Prince, please. Let's go. Unfortunately, that was a really good ban on his end. Gotta hand it to him. Well played, my man. He did go for the poison, so he has no way of killing this Musketeer, so we're just gonna do that again. Gonna end up going for Mega Minion, so that doesn't connect to my tower. So he's gonna end up going in for easy poison value, so let's snag that. Could end up going in for a Dark Prince here. I don't want to. He's gonna end up letting our Musketeer clop away on top of the P.E.K.K.A. for quite a while, eh? That's great. We take those. Have to go Goblin Cage. Musketeer again. Electro Wizard's going to take a beating here. And it looks like he's going to try to break through the Goblin Cage here without using Battle Ram. So then he's going to try to Battle Ram after. As long as the Bandit dies, then we're great. He ended up going in for poison, so let's go in for our graveyard. Take advantage of the opportunity. We're not going to squander that. And I can definitely poison if your Electro Wizard's going to stay inside it for a bit. Take an extended vacation inside that poison, why don't you? So, most decks, you're never allowed to cycle a Musketeer in the back, but with our deck, if you poison our Musketeer, we're happy. We're actually happy campers then. I end up doing this, and then graveyarding. And that's not a bad play. So, Bataram's coming down, but forcing out a poison, which is not bad for us at all. Keeping the Musketeer alive a little bit longer. And then I can definitely go in for another Musketeer here, finish off his P.E.K.K.A. That was actually really nice. That felt so dang good. Because that was a scary push coming at us, my man. Now we can end up going for another graveyard. The skeleton should be... No, it's going to charge on my Ice Golem. That's unfortunate. I was going to say, if the skeletons were able to make some magic happen there, that would have been prime. We can even go in for Dark Prince. I don't think that's going to get hit on its tower. We don't need to waste our Goblin Cage on that. 100% want to poison this. Bandit's still gonna wreck me though. For Barino. We're gradually, like, slowly but surely poisoning him out, I think. Oh man, that was so close. If we kill the P.E.K.K.A., which we should be able to with this Ice Golem pull, very high Ice Golem pull, so then it'll hit everything. Poison here, Dark Prince right on top. Since he just poisoned, he has nothing for the graveyard. I think we just won. Dude, we outplayed him. We're going to eat the Dark Prince. We're going to poison on top of the Electro Wizard. And that was actually insane. I think we should snowball this as well, maybe. Just to get some more chip. Slow down the tower. Alright, that's poison range. Let's take it. Just go and cycle here. Get back to poison. Walk away with the W. Gonna go cycle our Mega Minion because it's the cheapest elixir card. And as long as the Battle Ram ends up connecting to the cage, we're gonna be fine. If it ends up hitting the tower, it could be a little bit dicey. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit more dicey. We're gonna have to go and snowball that. And then we're gonna have to go drop our Ice Golem. Oh my goodness, that was way more scary. I thought it was gonna be super, super easy, but the P.E.K.K.A. ended up pouncing on top of the Goblin Cage. So we got a game against Nick. We're going to sauce out a good luck here. We're going to see what's up. We end up seeing Furnace right out of the gate. So it's either going to be a graveyard deck or it's going to end up being some type of funky clone deck. Could also end up being another type of RG deck. So we're going to have to wait and see. Is it going to be graveyard, RG, or clone? Well, if it's clone, we have a pretty good matchup since we have poison. So yeah, it's going to be clone. This deck is floating around. It is super toxic, man. And fortunately, our deck destroys it. Feels good, man. So he's going to end up having Cannon Cart, Witch, Clone with... Yeah, he's going to end up having Witch and Night Witch probably, right? Does he have Night Witch? We definitely have Skeleton Barrel with the Clone, too. Kind of want to end up going for Graveyard Opposite. Should be able to get a lot of damage with this Dark Prince plus Skeleton swim around because you don't end up having your Witch. So I think we might have just won the game. We can just snowball it back so then the Skeletons get just destroyed. And then we end up pushing the Witch back so then it doesn't get hits on a tower as early as it would have. So yeah, man. This is one of those matchups that if you lose to this deck, you just are eternally sad. You're just like crippled and crestfallen for the rest of your life. But fortunately for us, we end up having a hard counter, so we're not going to lose this one. If you guys hate playing against clone decks, if you hate losing to Witch Clone, this is the deck you want to play. Let's go in for the Musketeer in the back and get ready for the Giant Skeleton soon. Yeah, there it is. So his moves are very predictable, guys. And I know he's going to probably drop a Witch again, and then he's going to try to slow roll a huge push. I just want to end up defending this and then getting counter push after. Yeah, everything that he's doing is just textbook. It is very, very easy to see what this man is going to do because it's what everyone does when they play this deck. And he's going to clone me, and it's going to be a little bit annoying. But as long as the Musketeer gets a couple shots off, we're chilling. So we can just go for the poison now, and then we can immediately follow up with the Mega Minion. Yep, and he went right into a poison as expected. Feels good, man. When you make predictions on your opponent, it is always a feels good man moment. So he's probably going to start putting a Giant Skeleton again in the back, so let's just go in for the Ice Golem and then go in for a Graveyard. As long as the Fire Spirits never connect on my tower, we're chilling. And the Graveyard's going to get a lot of damage here if he doesn't just drop all of his Elixir that can get poisoned. So yeah, this is fine. I'm totally okay with that. Let's just go in for the Dark Prince, go in for the poison, and then we can even go in for an Ice Golem so that you don't get too close to my tower. Also Goblin Cage, so then the Skeleton Barrel pops there. As long as the Giant Skeleton doesn't end up killing the Musketeer, we're going to be in a great spot every single time. He ends up going in for a very aggressive play, but it was a good play because now the Cannon Cart is going to lock onto the tower. But he ended up using his Tornado, so that's kind of okay for me. As long as I'm able to go in for a poison here, killing the Night Witch, or the Witch and the Fly Machine. We're not going to actually be able to kill the Witch, but we do kill the Fly Machine. He's going to definitely spam me a bit here. Just need to make sure that we're going to be able to deal with this Giant Skeleton spam. All I need to do, guys, make sure that we don't lose the game here. Simple task. Simple necessities in life. We're going to have to go in for a poison, unfortunately. I just need to make sure that the Witch ends up dying and the Giant Skeleton doesn't connect to the tower. So I guess it's really unfortunate that I can't, like, just break through because the Witch is always going to demand the poison. But we're going to try to do it again. We need to make sure that we keep our Musketeer a little bit healthier. As long as we kill the Cannon Cart, we're fine. Cannon Cart just can't cross the other side, man. It's just too difficult. Witch is really strong, isn't it? We're going to get a juicy poison here. End up dropping our Ice Golem, so then the Fly Machine and everything targets that and not the Musketeer. And then since you don't end up having the Giant Skeleton Bomb, you're not able to break through. So we're going to end up trying to kill this Witch and then getting some decent counter push. So let's go and drop our Dark Prince so the Musketeer stays alive. Let's try to stack a couple Muskies. As long as we kill the Cannon Cart, I think I'm okay. I think we're A-okay if we kill the Cannon Cart. So I can just go in for a Giant Snowball here. and then just use an Ice Golem. Or even this. That's fine too. Use the Ice Golem pop, kill everything. And then Dark Prince on top of the Skeleton Barrel. Obviously, the Skeleton Barrel is going to get some damage, but... Man, I guess Witch is really difficult for us to deal with in this matchup. I should have went opposite lane in a few situations, shouldn't I? I thought we were hard countering him. It's not a supreme hard counter. It's a little bit frustrating to deal with Witch, because the Witch doesn't die inside the poison. I think we have to go opposite lane. I don't think we can go same lane here. And he doesn't have Witch, so this should do a lot of damage, if not bait out like a giant skeleton that he's not able to apply aggression with. So we tested, guys. We figured out that you can't go same lane as the Witch every single time. And it worked out really well for us in that situation, just ignoring it, and we were fine. So you want to end up, after they cycle the Witch, you want to go opposite lane and pressuring them. That's what we learned. That was the key to this matchup. I think we should be able to go in for another Graveyard whenever he cycles the Witch. See if he ends up doing it. Actually, he spent a lot of elixir, so we can just go for a Graveyard here, and then we should be able to take out the tower. I think that the Mega Minion is going to be able to put in a ton of work. Yeah, GG, man. So GG, well played, and peace out. It's super nice to be able to figure out things when you're playing the game. So now, when I play this matchup in the future, I'll know exactly what to do. Alright, so we got a game against Eminem. What's up, dude? We're going to sauce out a good luck. Hopefully he doesn't write a diss track on me if I beat him. I'm just hoping and praying that we don't beat him too bad here, man. So what are you going to do, dude? Are you going to drop anything? I don't really have a hand that I want to cycle too much. I could cycle a Mega Minion in the back. I could also cycle Musketeer because I want to get to my Dark Prince. If I had Dark Prince, I'd love to cycle that. Or an Ice Golem even, but I don't have Goblin Cage either, so it's kind of awkward. I'm just going to eat the log and see if he drops anything else. After seeing the log, it could be like Minor Control, Hog Rider deck, or something like that. And he's going to end up having Dark Prince, so he's going to have his own Dark Prince here. Let's go Dark Prince on Dark Prince, have ours charge on his, and hopefully we fight on our side of the map. I'm hoping and praying. Yeah, let's go. He's going to Fireball me, so that's good for me. After seeing Fireball, and I'm rocking Graveyard, it's always good to see that. Even though he's up a little bit of damage, he's in a pretty good spot. I know that I probably will have matchup advantage. So it's just really important to scout out your opponent before you make any capricious plays. And if I played really aggressive there, I could have immediately lost the game. So I'll take a short-term disadvantage just to make sure that I don't lose the game right out of the gate. And that's how I like to play the game in general. So he's going to end up having P.E.K.K.A. I would assume it's going to be P.E.K.K.A. And I just want to end up going for an Ice Golem on top of the Bandit, and then I could go for a Graveyard as well since we saw Magic Archer. I don't think he's going to end up having minions. He's going to have the Electro Wizard Magic Archer variation. So we should be able to get a considerable amount of damage here. And we're going to have to bait out like an Electro and a Dark Prince, which he definitely didn't want to drop in single elixir. He can't really afford to apply too much aggression like that. It's a really hefty investment. So this Dark Prince should be able to put in some work here. I'll probably have to go for a Giant Snowball on top of this Electro, considering he went for a log. Knocking that back is nice, and then he's going to end up going in for Royal Pigs. Interestingly enough, man, he's got Royal Hogs, so he's got Royal Hogs P.E.K.K.A. probably. I haven't seen anything like this in a fat 5 minute. But he's going to end up going for Electro with his Magic Archer, and I just want to end up going for a Muskie here. I could even go in for Ice Golem and then Graveyard, because we end up having the Musketeer still alive. Going same lane where he's going is always good for us, so then we get more counter push. That's generally what you want to be doing with Graveyard, is going same lane as your opponent, unless it's maybe a Golem deck, and you have to just make sure that they don't have all of their elixir coming at you. Yeah, he's got P.E.K.K.A. Pretty much as expected. And we'll have to end up going for an Ice Golem here, so then we're able to defend this. Go for another Goblin Cage. Just pull everything. He could end up going in for... Yeah, he might not go for Pigs anymore. I'm not sure if he will or not. This Dark Prince is not going to be able to charge for us, unfortunately. Could Magic Archer. That wouldn't be super surprising. Could Electro on that as well. We'll see, though. He's getting a lot of damage. He's playing this pretty well. I still think we're in a great spot. I know that I can go in for a Musketeer and then go in for a Graveyard as soon as I want. Let's just go in for a Snowball and then go in for our Graveyard with an Ice Golem. And we should be able to wreck him here. This should be able to get a ton of damage because you don't have anything. You don't have like poison, so this is guaranteed damage when we're up elixir. We're going to go in for our own poison, and generally when you're playing against a Fireball deck and you get one good poison like that, the game is over. So all we have to do is focus on defending and we win the game. So I'm even going to go for another Goblin Cage here, going for an Ice Golem, because he's probably going to go for a Magic Archer, and I can't let that happen. Can't let him ever get a connection or like swipe on top of a Mega Minion that he's not allowed to hit. Swiper no swiping. Oh man, GG, well played and peace out. This game was too memey. With the Eminem and Dora Explorer memes, it's too much. But man, I really hope he doesn't make a diss track on me. I would just be ended immediately. So this guy's gonna end up having Goblin Gang and Ice Spirit, so we know what it is. It's gonna be Logbait, guys. You know what we do against Logbait? We assert dominance. All we have to do is make sure his Goblin Gang's out of cycle. We can go in for a Graveyard and punish him heavily. Because if you think about it, there's nothing else I have to poison. Everything else ends up just dying here. You have to cycle back to a Goblin Gang, and if you don't cycle back to another Goblin Gang, you're kind of screwed. I can poison this just because we're going to be able to hit the Princess and the weaker tower and get damage on the Valkyrie, so it was well worth it. But in most situations, if they don't have Goblin Gang in cycle, I'll never even have to poison, and sometimes the Skeletons will even be able to kill the Princess. So he's in a pretty bad spot. Let's see if he cycles his Goblin Gang again, because if that happens, we're able to immediately punish with our Graveyard. Because there's nothing else in Logbait that really deals with it. There's no other baity card. So, we will all just die to the Skeletons. Ends up dropping the Goblin Gang yet again, man. Splitting it even, so it doesn't even get concentrated damage, so I can just blatantly ignore it. So, in this situation, I'm going to end up going for the Ice Golem, and I'm going to end up going for a Graveyard, and we can just go and poison the Princess again, because he ended up dropping the Inferno Tower. He's going to have to drop Valkyrie, and he's going to have to drop a Log. Sure, the Valkyrie range is pretty okay, and it will be able to kill a lot of Skeletons, but it's not amazing by any stretch of the imagination. I fully expect a Princess of the River, so let's just go for a Musketeer to damage that a little bit quicker. And we predict it. Let's go, boys. That's what I'm talking about. It's just very easy to realize after you've played a lot of Logbait, their only opportunities to get damage is Princess of the River in these matchups if they don't end up having a good card cycle. So he's not going to be able to break through ever with Goblin Gang. And it was just very predictable since he ended up having a Valkyrie trying to approach the river. So in this situation, I just want to end up going in, cycle and Ice Golem in the back. I'm not really going to play really aggressive here. I'm going to end up going for a Goblin Cage. And I can go in for a Graveyard Poison here. And I'll be able to kill the Princess for sure. So that's kind of what we want to do. Actually, you know what? We're just going to end up going for a Snowball. And then going in for a Dark Prince. And then I can poison, and we're not going to get damage, really, with the Graveyard, but I'm going to get a lot of value with this poison. It'll kind of make up for it. Killing the Princess, hitting the Inferno Tower, killing the Goblin Gang, it's all worth it. We're doing really well right now. So I fully expect another Princess, so let's just go in for another Ice Golem. We've predicted it every single time, and it's just going to get easier because that's what he has to do to break through. Whenever there's an opportunity, he's going to have to do it. So he's going to get a pretty juicy Rocket off on us, but he's not going to be able to hit the Mega Minion, so that feels really good. And then since he only ends up having Goblin Gang, we can significantly get a lot of damage with this poison. So he has to drop Goblin Gang, even if, yeah, you just have to drop it. Even if you don't want to, that's what you had to do. GG, well played, and peace out, Girl Scout. Even if we end up just having Snowball, we destroy Logbait with this deck. GG, well played, and peace out, man.